Good afternoon, Cory Constantine, here in the Business Growth Support Studio. We are very curious your story about you and about your company 900 North Studios.
Yeah, thank you for having me today. I graduated with a degree in sculpture from Indiana University in Bloomington and wanted very much to go into that world. Threw myself into the world of the trades in order to make money and worked as a carpenter, as a welder, fabricator. Ended up founding 900 North Studios as a result of having gathered all these different trade experiences, both in the world of construction, fabrication, and large-scale public art, and started 900 North Studios in January of 2020 as a sculpture fabrication business.
So, for those who are new to your world, you say a sculpture manufacturing company. What does your company do? Tell a little bit more.
So in the world of large-scale public art, entities will commission artists, like a city, a university, a hospital. And in most cases, individual artists don't have the staff, the space, or the tooling required to fulfill the actual creation of some of these big pieces. So they'll come up with concept designs. And then what we do is we're the company that has the staff, the skill set, the space, and the machinery to then be able to physically build these big, large, enormous projects.
So, tell a little bit more about those projects. Which two projects are you, for example, now working on?
We just completed a couple exciting projects. There's a large piece that we did for artist Alicia Eggert in a waterfront park in Alexandria, Virginia, and that's currently on display. The piece is called Now or Never, and it's creates a large sculptural corridor with the words now and never on either side, and it's actually aligned so that on the morning of June 21st this year, the sun will rise directly between the corridor. Another cool one that we have up right now is artwork by artist Nana Bashakone, and it is on display at the Whitney Biennial. So we fabricated 3 large-scale sculptures for her that are on display on the 6th floor terrace right now at the Whitney Biennial in New York City.
Wow, really, you're building something with memories and with people can really see the value of an artist. That's incredible, Cory.
Thank you.
So I'm a little bit diving deeper with you in from your perspective. What's the best way to grow your business?
The best way to grow our business has been a bit of a juggling act. So it's a capital intensive industry. The tooling is expensive, the machinery is expensive, and the labor force is expensive. So it's been a juggling act between expending energy on marketing efforts, and those are very much grassroots, and then expending energy on investing in the infrastructure of our company.
Is that for every company in your niche that it's a little bit challenging, the growth?
I certainly wouldn't be arrogant enough to speak for everyone, but I would have a hard time imagining how the constraints of this business would not require that same kind of like slow, measured growth over time because of the large capital expenses it requires, unless, of course, you happen to have endless amounts of wealth already.
Of course, we're now in an era with AI and technology. How is that shaping your industry?
Our industry is interesting because many people in the space are coming to it from an arts background. A lot of the owners of companies are in our space are people who themselves are sculptors or artists, like just myself. So it's dealt with. Those leaders of those companies lead their companies in a different way than someone with, say, a master's in business might do so. Of course, there are people out there with those masters in business. As a result, some standard business practices, I think a lot of other industries share that are maybe a little bit less present in ours, things like project management softwares, operating systems, within creating the structure of your company. And that's someplace where we really have been focusing, is building out a clear operating system and structure to our business, as well as project management softwares. Thousands are out there. Very few are made for what we do. So we're using AI currently to create our own CRM and our own project management software from scratch.
Wow, that's really incredible what you're building and using the new AI technologies already in your company. Since you are growing so fast, is there advice you would like to give to our audience how they could grow their company the best way?
I got a degree in sculpture, not business, so I'm very much learning as I go here. We have grown 200% every year since I started the company. And I will say that it definitely becomes a point where the old cliche of like, don't grow too fast just becomes unavoidable and true. And unfortunately, we really hit that mark last year. What I would say is financial planning and having a really firm hold of your books, being able to project what your growth is going to mean for cash flow expenses, and really being able to look at a monthly's expenses and a month's revenue and see down the road 6 months in advance and know how that might impact the future. And that means like endless time in your books, looking over your books constantly, asking people who know better. Like I do that all the time. I constantly am looking out for trying to find mentors or people who know better than I do, whether it's bookkeeping, whether it's accounting, whether it's tax law, whether it's law in general, and just always seeking out their opinions to try and learn as much as I possibly can to get that type of perspective that I need to look at something quickly and feel like I can get a sense of what's going to happen into the future.
So for you, saying growth is all about getting the right mentor, finding the right advice, is your perspective. It was great to have you here in our studio.